Ah, Joe, you poor child, you poor, poor child. Oh my gosh. So I don't know what this thumbnail is going to be about. 3 hours ago, I woke up at around 10:15. I need to get some sleep, because I can't wake up forever this stuff. This movie has had so much a hype and anti-hype to it. Of religious standards, of political standards, of Gunn versus Snyder standards. I've never seen this much bullshit. And I think I had posted or tweeted maybe the real Superman movie was the hype and the drama we had along the way. So now I will go to Angry Joe's review. We'll find the fuck out. We will find the fuck out. His angry reviews have changed a lot, Tim.
We just got
In how many years?
From the early showing of Superman 2025, James Gunn's introduction to the DCU. Got the Amazon early showing.
Remember, it used to be like Delrith and Joe and other Joe sitting, the Three Stooges sitting side by side in the back where they would face away from the screen, but that was a classic
7 p.m.
moment.
on Tuesday night. It is 10. Buckle up, because it's probably going to be a little bit longer of a review. And if you think you can judge my reaction to the film via my face, I don't think so. Okay.
And I can look at the reactions on their face.
So this I'm doing with the boys, obviously. We all saw it together. And, but this is their opportunity, to speak. I have an opportunity. I have a tendency to interrupt a lot.
Yes,
especially
you do.
when I'm passionate about something, angry about something, liking something, trying to defend something. So what I would like to do
is let them speak.
I'm going to go ahead and cover my mouth.
Yep.
And then we'll let the boys go and say their piece. And then I will say my piece. Here we go.
Okay. The movie wasn't bad. You should check it out if you got some free time. It's not. I was honestly
that tone
hoping
of
for
voice.
more. I wanted
There
more
you go.
from this movie. I do like some of these characters. They did a great job. Some of these characters, I don't know. The music was off for me. It's very off-putting. I did not like their music choices at all. I honestly didn't think. I was expecting more Superman action. I didn't feel
There's
like
some, but
there's some, yeah, but like it's rare, and then obviously you need it for your climax.
I didn't climax.
No, yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I came in wanting to really love this movie, but I just think it's all right. It was an all right film. That's sad.
So I had no strong feelings either way going into this. So I'm not disappointed. I think it's a pretty good film. I can totally understand people wanting to love this, but I think that what I got here was a pretty good movie. I think we got some pretty good action. We got some pretty good heart. Sometimes there was one scene in particular that I think it was really touching, and it was the one time where James Gunn didn't interrupt his moment with a ill-timed, often not very funny joke or attempt at humor. HBO probably has a TV show and an animated show, and they're going to make cameos here and there.
Like 3 shows,
there
like 10
is
shows.
Some of the Marvel thing where they're setting up the next project in this project to a little bit. But I didn't hate this movie. I think that it's a pretty good film. I think it's a summer blockbuster. If you have
They're tiptoeing around Joe
a
bit
bit
because they know Joe is the
it
Superman
is for
fan.
some of you who wanted
like,
great.
Alex is just like, and maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible. This, but I think
sniff greatness here. But we spent a lot of time way below.
We did. For me, the best thing was David and Rachel. They had good chemistry, and that's what I wanted more of.
We got what, 5
I think they
minutes?
did.
Yes,
I mean,
and
to
that
be
is
serious, yeah.
what was really disappointing.
Characters too. Like we're
He's
constantly
feeling-
introducing some of these minor characters, and they do it because they're important to the Look, this is an IP that has so many characters that people love for a huge variety of reasons. You don't have to show all of them in the very first thing.
No,
It makes you
it's
think, like,
necessary.
he's
You
insecure
got to
about
have a
the
mess
future
of
of the
things.
DCU in the very first movie.
I will say, like, when I have not yet watched Superman the Man of Tomorrow cartoon. And that's on VOD. I might, you know what, just to keep up the momentum going, I might purchase that on YouTube. But you had Martian Manhunter and you had Lobo. And I think that was it. There were a couple of characters in there that were just kind of thrown in there. But it was reintroducing Superman. And this was after Justice League Apocalypse, Dark Justice League Apocalypse War. Justice League Dark Apocalypse. Okay, it's such a long title. But after the Flash rewound time, then supposedly everything restarted with Superman, the Man of Tomorrow. So I'll take a look at that and see how that feels. If you wanted a better reintroduction to the character, but this feels like the Ezra Miller Flash is doing. But let's continue.
And then you can build upon that, and really cool stuff. Way more brutal than I thought it was going to be. If you can catch it, because it's dark and like lots of stuff's happening and the camera's moving real violently, and it's like if we had a little bit more faith in our ability to do CG, I think it could.
Yeah, no, you're not. But
well, we're not going to hate the movie. We're just not going to. I'm just going to shit on it.
Yeah, you were. You little Superman shirt. Yeah.
It's a medium.
I'm sorry.
Now it is time for Joe to speak. Hold on. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do a 3-hour.
Don't cry.
I'm gonna do a 3-hour review with a bonus 1 hour on my own. Okay, so stay tuned for that as I formulate my thoughts, guys. I'm shook. I'm shook. I don't know how to feel. I'm gonna be honest. We literally just saw this.
Yeah.
And I am of two minds right now. I have a critic brain and I have a fan brain. Obviously, my fan brain and my fanboyism for the character of Superman, I liked it. I had fun. But also my critic brain, there's so many red flags going off. There's so many missed opportunities that, I don't want to gush and start ranting because you're going to think that I hate the film when I don't hate the film. I love Superman, and perhaps I love Superman too much because I want him to succeed at the highest level.
Right.
And when you see him executed in this particular way, this is a new Superman. Let me talk good things. This is a new Superman done in a new way that we've not seen on screen before.
Yeah, in a ridiculous way.
This is
I will say that the one thing that I really wish we had gotten in the last few years was a very good Superman video game. And Rocksteady was like this close to putting out a new video. And maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why people left. But we got Kill the Suicide Squad, or Kill the Justice League Suicide Squad. We had an evil Superman to fight. There was never a time when Superman. I thought like one idea would be to put a Superman moral meter. Like if you end up killing somebody, you have to start the level over again or some shit like that. Like they just couldn't figure out a way. Like how hard could that be? If Superman accidentally kills a terrorist guy who just has a gun, okay, kill somebody, start over, game over, start over again. Like it's not just about how powerful he is. So I mean that's where we're trying to get to a good point. But it's not happening here.
Superman. This is a vulnerable Superman. This is a human Superman. This is a Superman that feels, that gets his ass kicked all the time. This is a Superman that has those human feelings. But the problems are
was that Supergirl there?
There has
oh no, it was
to be,
Cat Grant.
You have to balance that out with badass moments. You have
or
to
Tessmacher.
Balance that out with great action.
They all look the same
have those moments,
guns, lenses.
Feeling. And unfortunately,
man,
all of the moments where I was supposed to be feeling something,
he says,
sometimes
"Fuck
it was
you,
there
man."
because of my love of the character, but it wasn't at the level that I thought it would be. And James Gunn makes personal choices. James Gunn a long time ago said, "I don't want to do Superman." And then he said, I will do Superman. I found an in. I found, how I want to do it. And do I think it's a good start to the DCU? Yes.
Why couldn't this be the Elseworlds, right?
As a Superman film, I think it's just okay. and I'm more Joe than I am Alex. I'm more disappointed than I am this, and I need to rewatch it. I'm gonna see it again on Thursday.
Yeah.
But you have to know something about me.
Yes.
With the sauna, AI.
But to start singing on screen, you look over, you'll see me on the theater go, ah! Another thing that I don't like, unfortunately, is punk rock. And this is a punk rock Superman. And I don't like punk rock.
Kind of punk rocker Commissioner Gordon in The Dark Knight.
I don't think it's cool to call Superman punk rock. That's
Gary Oldman looked like a punk rocker in his day.
There's gonna be people out there that think that's cool and that think that fits, but it's not me. And
oh my God!
And so
there's the fake dog.
I like punk rock from the outside. A few songs.
It's a tennis ball on a stick. It's like, okay, Crypto's sitting on top of you.
Were terrible. I didn't like them. And James, and honestly, I'm going to start flowing with the negatives, but I want to continue. There is some positives here, but as far as negatives go, there's a lot of choices that I disagree with. But ultimately, he does get the characters. The characters are great. So it is a solid foundation.
Ah, this is such a cool episode.
It definitely
where
feels
Superman is dressed up as
like
Batman.
a cartoon. It definitely feels like Superman.
This is not the animated. No,
series.
no, I don't think
Superman,
so.
The Justice League Unlimited. However, I would say it feels like those, but the filler episodes or the episodes in between the good episodes.
With the least experienced writers.
The soundtrack was weak. Outside of one song, which is mainly riffing off of John Williams' relationship, and it's a great fucking scene, and I commend James Gunn for being bold enough to put something like that in there and challenging people. People are going to be upset at Superman for yelling or Clark Kent for yelling, but at the same time, that's kind of how relationships go, and none of it is in a overly inappropriate or anything like that. And I like David's Superman. This is a vulnerable Superman. This is a kind Superman. This is a Superman with a great foundation, but he isn't given all the cool material.
Looks like Review Tech USA.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's like, I went to go see Superman, but he was the star. Mr. Terrific was like, this guy's fucking cool, but you're not supposed to do that in your own fucking movie.
It's not that the characters take up too much time, right? It's just that the time that is taken could have been used better. So I don't. For purpose, James Gunn said 4 comics inspired him, and every single one of those
bullshit. Smoke and mirrors.
Have all of these ideas done better, executed better.
Yeah.
And the template
You see
was
all
right
this?
there for
See all that?
James, and he
See all that
decided,
stuff?
No, I'm
Now
gonna
fuck
do my
that.
own thing. I'm gonna do punk rock.
No. You know. I bet there was a conference meeting. Took all those comic books and see these. All right, just do them in the fireplace.
Maybe that's coloring my opinion how much I hate that, but the soundtrack just sucks.
Oh my God.
I don't want to say it's superficial, man. At some points,
Special man. Handyman.
Johnson.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
Superman does it, but it's not.
Here we go.
It doesn't.
I skipped ahead a little bit. Flash theory incoming.
It's too much. When Henry Cavill's flying through the air, he's smiling. It's supposed to be dynamic, and Henry has this awesome
this is cool.
But you're going fast, and so you shouldn't look great when you're doing it. And I feel like it's too processed looking. It's too close to Flash visuals.
Here we go.
I think the cinematographer might actually be the cinematographer from Flash.
There's your Flash theory that it was Flash. Ezra Miller's Flash is still on this earth.
And I don't really like the way the action was filmed here.
Superhero theory.
Moments, trust me. You have to. You're competing against Marvel. That's what Marvel does. That's what everybody expects at the end of the thing.
Well, I didn't expect
And people in our theater were confused. At the end, nobody clapped.
He tried.
Nobody clapped.
He tried. I heard that bastard.
This is an issue. And I don't think it's because they didn't like it enough. Because they clapped at the beginning. They were so excited.
Yeah.
And honestly, general audiences, when you're that excited at the beginning, you're going to clap at the end.
I was preparing myself.
But the problem is the ending doesn't have that momentum at the end.
Because James Gunn no care.
Final credit scene and these end credit scenes. Movie! we're setting up the DCU too much. It's
Hurry, we gotta compete with
the only
Marvel.
way we're gonna
Their
get
universe
what
is
I
almost
want
20 years
is
old.
If a sequel comes around and it's not James Gunn, it's James Gunn produced, but he gives it to somebody else. I hate saying that.
Taika Waititi.
No, fuck you.
Not after the.
Anyways, so critic brain, like my fan brain wants to give it a 7, but my critic brain is telling me 6. This is my first
Oh,
impression.
there you go.
That we
And by the
literally
way, that
just
6
saw
is
it.
subject to
This
change.
is my,
It can go
how
lower
I feel.
or
Walking
higher.
out of the theater a little disappointed. If I turn on my fan brain for a minute, say, hey, maybe we can get it done better in the future. If you do, maybe James will then move back into a producer role in a studio oversight.
Yeah,
because
he has to.
I could tell his love and passion is there. Because I could tell he understands the character. I'm still happy with him. And I'm still happy
Buy
that
the
he's in
fucking
charge
tickets
in this.
now.
And I do think that the DCU still has a bright future. But
I think there's only a couple minutes left. I think this is the moment where Joe becomes old man Joe. He has become old man Joe. He realizes now that he has turned 40. He turned 40 last year. He's 41 this year. So this is, you got to figure this out now.
Overall? Yeah, there's 7 and it's not even that segment. It's another, yes, very funny. And this is, what is wrong with me, man? I wish I could have came out here and lied to y'all, but
I
I
like
can't
it too.
do it.
Like I wore my shirt. I was like, we said
It's
go
just not
check it out.
great.
It's a popcorn flick. Go check it out.
It's just
like
a
Alex said,
wasted
have some
opportunity.
drinks, some popcorn. That's it.
Superman should never be serviceable.
You're tearing me
It's
apart.
okay. You poor child.
Okay, that's it for the review segment. Let's go. Much for watching. Go easy on the dislikes if you're.
I will say, so Ping Pong Flicks, I don't think has his review up. And I will look, that will be the last review. And then whatever happens. Oh my God. Remember when he had so many, he had Kaiju Flicks and he had Kamen Rider or he had DC Flicks, he had Kamen Rider or Power Rangers. And then he retired and then he came back. And it's like, I just said Ping Pong's he's all over the place. And we'll get more into that when he reviews his Superman movie. He'll probably not be as in denial, I think. But I think that he'll try his best. And that's it for now. More Superman drama to come.